Hey, what's going on, everyone? It is Brianna Brown, and I'm so glad that you chose to click this video and join me on this journey. If you haven't already liked and subscribed to the channel, go ahead and hit that like button and subscribe button. In today's video, I'm going to introduce you to our Educator of the Week. Stay tuned. All right, and with us today, we have Miss Marnise Roberts. Thank you so much for joining me today, Miss Marnise. Very privileged and glad to have you here with me. I remember the first time that I met you, it was actually at a professional development at the University of Michigan. And you came in with so much energy and enthusiasm. And the first thing I thought was, wow, she reminds me so much of my mom. Oh, wow. And I was sitting next to my cousin, and it was kind of scary because you remind me so much of my mom that I was like, this is just crazy. Like I was almost scared. And I found out that you actually grew up on the street that my parents moved us to when we went to Michigan. And by the end of the PD, I was like, I have to say something to her because this is just such a coincidence. And it's been history ever since then. And that was over 10 years ago. And so I remember the day like it was yesterday though, but you're now, or you've been for a while, an educational consultant, parent educator, mom of 3. And I definitely wanted to get you on here because you have made such an impact on my life. And I know that you've made the same impact on many other people's lives as equally, if not more, as much as you made in mine. So I do want to say thank you for all that you've done in my life as a mentor, as a coach, as an educator, just someone to look up to. And I definitely wanted to get into, talk about your journey and how you started all of this.
Well, first I have to say thank you to you. One, the fact that I would be even mentioned that I remind you of your mother is truly an honor. And when you said that to me years ago, instantly I was thinking, oh my goodness, we really do have a purpose in life, if it's nothing else, but one, to be ourselves, but to also know that people are watching. So thank you for bringing that to my attention, that you were watching. Second, it is an honor that you even mentioned me, like I said, about being with your mom. But third, just to be a part of your life, and the fact that this world is so small that we literally live down the street from each other. And my dad mentioned your family when I wasn't living there. He just kept saying, this family of all these children, they are so great. I see them walking back and forth to school. And I'm thinking, oh, this is before we even met. Wow. So you were in my life before you were in my life. So wow. Thank you for that.
Yep, and I remember him watching us run to the bus stop every morning.
And he used to say, he said, watch you white guys run. So thank you. I appreciate you. And then I appreciate who you have become as an educator, and watching you watch over those students at the University of Michigan doing those summer programs, and to see how you handle things. You were a mother a long time ago, and I'm sure with a big family. You just knew how to handle those children, and you and I being about the same size, you knew how to handle your business, and I appreciated that about you keeping those students in line. It was truly just a blessing to know that they were in capable hands, and now you're educating other people's children and educating your own. That is such a blessing. So thank you for being who you are and doing what you do.
Thank you. Appreciate your kind words. So I know you have a quote that says, an opportunity is an opportunity for an opportunity. And you were one of the, actually the only person I've heard that come from. So can you, talk a little bit about that and how you.
Sure. So a new thing is probably a month and a half ago. Well, yeah, about a month and a half ago. That has now is a trademark quote of mine. It is every opportunity is an opportunity to an opportunity. So the way and the reason why I came up with that is I realized that any and everything that we do is going to lead us to something new or something else. So be careful in what you're looking to do. It's an opportunity. So in introduction, that is an opportunity to something else. And that something else will hopefully lead to something else. And I honestly believe that it will. Just coming up and you speaking to me and sharing that you were a Flintstone, we both are Flintstones. And then from there saying, well, where do you live? That's another opportunity again, to just have a conversation. And I think people are now afraid to even sit down and have conversations. So just saying hello is the first thing. That's an opportunity that takes you to another opportunity that will lead you to other opportunities.
Absolutely. And you're also a mom of 3. So how did you get started, with your career? And I know you've had children. Have you always been an educational consultant? So kind of start there.
So my degree is social work, and I went to the University of Michigan Flint, which I'm very proud to be a Flintstone. And my parents were from the South. So my mother's from Arkansas, my dad is from Texas. And I think with all that we have done, my classmates, my 6th grade classmates, which we still get together, the girls, we call Scott School Scotty girls. And we get together, and one of the comments was, Marnise, you were always trying to be somebody's mother. So they would say, Miss Marnise. So way back then, I was given the name Miss Marnise, which is always so funny. I tease them about that. But I think with social work, social workers are resources to get people to the next level. I think an educator is in the lives of people to continue to teach people the next level. So that's back to the opportunity. Give them an opportunity, which leads them to another opportunity, which will lead them to another opportunity. So just a short story, my husband and I, we used to live in Philadelphia, and I had all these children. We were at a convention, and I came up and I walked up to a bowl, and I looked in, and the lady said, oh, do you work? And I said, well, no, I'm home with my children. And she said, oh, well, no, you don't have a business card and just kind of shoved me off. And I came home and I shared that with my husband. He said, no, you educate your children every day. You are the COO of the Roberts household. And I thought, well, I still don't have a business card. And literally we had no money. But he's like, we're going to buy some business cards. So he got me business cards that said the COO of the Roberts household. And from there, I started doing, talking with people about raising children. I had read up on all this stuff before, during, and after. But the key was, every time I got in front of somebody, I was always educating them on something that I had learned, just sharing the knowledge. And I believe that that's one of the things that we don't necessarily do. So after him saying, no, you're an educator and you have business cards, you are the COO of this family, and basically you are enough. And so from that, I started talking, and then he said, you can get paid for that. I was like, nobody's gonna pay me to talk about this. And they do. It's really a great thing. And that just led to me writing the book and doing conferences, and actually a lot of it started off as ministry. So that led to just some other things.
That's awesome. So can you talk a little bit about some of the works that you have already done, or some of the speaking engagements that you currently do?
Sure. So the one thing I'm really, really excited about is this summer, I'm going to be working with some students virtually all over the country with just learning how to grow as an individual. And I applaud the parents who trust me to do that. A lot of them are students that I had. Some of them are my mentees, and they're allowing me to spend time with their children, which is incredible. To really force them to be and to do things that the parents, don't necessarily want to do with them. And that's just to take them to the next level. So one, I appreciate that. I've spoke several different, but for several different organizations. I was working at University of Michigan during their summer programs. This is the past, and just recently working with Michigan State. So I'm a Michigan mom, and I'm also a Michigan State mom because I have all these mentees going down south to Yazoo, Mississippi, where I've been allowed to engage with that that community. I've been out to Philadelphia, just speaking to parents, speaking to students, and speaking to educators, and then administrators. So I always think of it as like a triangle, and each point is leading toward the center. In the center, that would be the students who we're sharing knowledge and wisdom with.
That's awesome. That is awesome. And I'm sure you are definitely making that impact in those students, just like you made that impact in me. And I'm so excited for those students and the parents that are going to reap that harvest that you're going to sow into their child. So what would you say is probably one of the most exciting things about your position in your career?
Meeting you, honestly. The fact that we started years ago, and there are some that are a little older than you, much older than you. When people come back and say things like, oh, I remember you saying, you know, every opportunity is an opportunity to an opportunity. I remember you saying, smart people ask questions and smart people ask for help. Some of the quotes that I've said, the newest one is a GPA, and it's not something new that I created, but it's goal, plan, action. So when I see students and ask them, so what are you up to? And they'll go, I knew you were going to ask me what my goal was and what my plan was and what my action was. So that's great. But one of the other things that I really embrace is to hear my children say, pretty much, we did not like you growing up. We just did not like you, but we loved you. And now we love what you did in us. I invested in my children, and I invest in every person that I come in contact with because I want to make a positive difference in their life. My goal every day is to anyone I encounter that I leave them better off than the way I found them. And that is my prayer next to my bed every morning that I truly do believe in, and truly a mantra of mine. But having my children to say, Mom, they encouraged me to write the book. They and my husband, and my son was like, Winston was like, you need to tell the truth. Tell them what they really need to do. So those types of things, that is really, Winston, Shelby, and Greer are the three who, along with other students that I've encountered, but they are the three who just make my heart sing.
Yeah, and let's talk about your book, Friendly Not Friends, and how you mention your children in that book. I read it. I encourage everyone to get that book if you are a parent. Yeah, can we talk about that and how you got started with it?
Sure. So when I would speak at different engagements, people would come up to me and say, so do you have a book? And I'd go, oh, no, I'm not an author. And probably 3 times my husband had accompanied me on being the speaker at different events. And he said, this is the 3rd time I've heard a group of people come up and ask if you have a book. And I said, yeah, can you believe that? He's like, yes, I can. You need to do this. And we had, every Sunday we'd sit down to dinner and we'd have different conversations. And the children, my husband would bring it up, people are asking your mom about a book and she won't write one. And each one of the kids kept saying, Mom, you really need to write a book. So a lot of the wisdom is things that my mother or my father had said, the village that raised me, what they brought me through, a cousin who started very early. I watched her raise her children, who now has children. And I just put it on paper. I always tell people, pop it to me, put it on paper. Don't tell me about it, but put it on paper. So I had to take my own advice. Not pass it on this wisdom, but put it on paper. So pop it to me. And it's really been a joy. The readers that, I did a survey before and asked busy parents and moms especially, but dads as well, asked them, how much time would you take to read a book? And the majority of them said, I can't do more than 100 pages. I just don't have the time. I need something quick, something that's going to keep me moving, and something that's going to motivate me. And so the book is 99 pages. It is stories of how to get through, with also some suggestions of how to make it over.
That is awesome. And I read the book. I bought one for my sister with her 2 children, and we definitely loved it. And
Thank
so let's talk about your children, because they're now grown and graduated from college, which tells a great story about, you know, where they came from and who their parents are. So can we go into how your children are now doing and
Sure,
what they're
sure.
up to?
So the oldest is Winston. He is now married. He and his wife, Kristen, live in New Jersey, and he is an educator. He is and I can't remember, he just won an award last week for being the teacher who helps to improve the area around him. So helping the staff. He's a team leader. He's the math, and I'm going to get all this wrong, but he's over the math. He's a math coordinator of the 5th grade class. He's with KIP, New Jersey, and he is just, he energizes me. So he's a lot of me, but also a lot of my husband. But he inspires kids to learn, and he's got more energy than me, which is kind of scary. So he and his wife Kristen are in New Jersey, and she is my daughter in love. My daughter Shelby, and Winston graduated from Morehouse, and he is he was I'm trying to think. I can't remember how many years ago. That's why I try to forget those things. That tells my age. But he enjoys what he does, and I think that's the other thing. His passion is that. The other one is Shelby. She is the middle daughter. She is an anchor at WMBD in Illinois, Peoria, Illinois. She's the 6 o'clock anchor. She was the morning show host, and she's advanced there. She went to the University of Michigan. So she was in Ann Arbor for some years. And we really, really enjoyed seeing her twice a year, because she thought being home, that she would be able to come home more often. And we said, no, you got to go to school. And then Greer is the youngest. She graduated from Howard University. She is now in Atlanta. She works for a KIP school as well, but she also went to Tsinghua University in China. So she has her 2nd degree from there. And I'm sorry, Winston also has a master's degree in teaching as well. All of them in their own right have done great things, and they really have added to this world. You know, my job as a parent was to teach knowledge and to encourage them to grow, which allows them to have wisdom. And the blessing is that they come back, and we actually have a family call on Sundays, where we just kind of catch up with each other and encourage each other. But they are, I mean, I'm biased, but they are absolutely the most brilliant and the best children in the world.
Yes.
And my husband, of course, supports me, so.
I would concur with that. And it sounds like your husband is also your biggest cheerleader as well.
He really is. He graduated from the University of Michigan as well. And he also has a degree from Stanford University. But again, he has an MBA from there. But just really one who encourages me to do things that I never thought I would do. He was also one who said, you know, you're a great speaker. And I'm thinking, nobody's going to listen to me. So really encouraged me to stand up in front of people and speak. And from there, then to write the book, it just encourages me to no end. And he is actually my first boyfriend, the first boy that ever kissed me at Scott School. And we dated for 5 years before then, and then we've now been married for 31. It'll be 31 years this year.
Wow, congratulations.
Thank you.
That is amazing. And so I definitely want to, you know, give people an opportunity to be able to, you know, contact you and check your book out as well. So if you can kind of share with us how they can connect with you. I know I'm going to put it in the description below for those that want to continue to do that. So in what ways can they reach you?
So the best way is to go to my website, which is Miss Marnise, M-I-S-S, Marnise.com, or to just email me at missmarnise@gmail.com. I am on social media, and I don't answer everything, but if it's really a way you want to contact me, just hit me up on one of those platforms, and I'll get back to you.
Awesome. And then what advice would you have for people who are watching?
So I did write this down because I wanted to make sure that I said this right. One, for parents, to understand that you are contagious. What you do, your children see, they watch, and they will follow you. The second is, the other thing is, one of the things that my mother said was, you need to teach your children how to listen, pay attention, and follow directions. The next, for educators, is to be honest. Really think about why you are taking the time and spending your time to educate. And my thing would be to share that the educator's assignment is to challenge the students to think and then hold them accountable. Because I think we teach and then we say, oh, okay, oh, that's good, when it's not. If it's not good, tell the truth, be honest, but also be honest of why is it that you're doing this. The last thing would be for students, understand that you have to invest the time, the energy, and the work. You have to put it in, and to understand that integrity is so important. And inside of integrity is the word grit. You have to put the time and energy in. And I think the last thing for parents is, don't handicap your children by making things easy. That doesn't help them to be productive citizens in the world later on. So I don't know if that was too much, but I did write it down because I knew that people think that parenting just happens. It's not the teacher's job to educate. It is the parents. You are the first educators in your child's life. You got to put the work in.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you so much. And I would definitely agree with all that you said, because I mean, our youth are our future. And like you said, parents are the first teachers, whether we know it or not. And I want to just say, thank you so much for agreeing to this interview. And I want to say that you by far have inspired me in such a major way. I mean, I just can't thank you enough for, just being who you are, and being that light. And you definitely illuminate the room. I remember the last time we were at the University of Michigan, and even just seeing you interact with your children. I mean, when they walk in a room, even though you were their teacher, that light was just there. Like every time you saw your children, you lit up and they lit up. And it was just, it was a beautiful sight to see, very refreshing to see your relationship with your own children, with your husband. It's just been very inspiring. And so that's the most authentic that I can, say for any quote or any type of idea is, just being your authentic self has really inspired me as a mother, as an educator. So again, I want to say thank you, and I wish you the best.
Thank you. And I want to say congratulations to you having your third baby boy. Congratulations to you and your husband. And I am just, I say this with all sincerity, I am so proud of you, being the educator that you are. And the fact that I got to come visit your class and those students were reciting excellence by memory. It is something that sticks with you. And I just I just appreciate you being who you are, the brilliant, bold, beautiful woman that you are, and you have these wonderful young men that you're going to raise and make a positive difference in the world. Thank you. And thank you to your mom and your dad.
Yes, yes. Thank you so much. So until next time, Miss
Yes,
Marnise.
thank you.
And as always, remember you have what it takes. Be great and accelerate. Until next time, peace.